All right. Everybody, I could always, everybody that we bring on, they're always doing a little head bop. It is. It's
I
very
mean, it's
catchy.
fire. It's
Yeah.
fire. I can't help it. Probably the best intro in the biz. I gotta say it.
Appreciate that, man. So, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Jets Afterburners podcast. Riding by myself, just Liam tonight. No, Dan. Dan is actually recovering from surgery, so prayers up to Dan. Yes, big prayers. And I'm being joined by a very special guest, James Wudi from Take Flight Talk. James, what's going on, my friend?
Not much. Or is it everything? I don't know, because the New York Jets have been on fire. I'm so excited to be here to talk to Liam. We were just talking backstage about how long it's been. This is not a first time thing. This is a reunion of sorts.
That's
Reunited,
right.
and it feels so good.
Yeah, man, it has been a while. It's been too long. So glad to be catching up with you, talking all things Jets. So, like you said, it has been a very busy week for the really last couple weeks for the New York Jets. And, it's fitting that it's the New York Jets. They represent the city that never sleeps because this is the team that doesn't sleep ever. Uh, even going back to the beginning of free agency, Joe Douglas is a night owl, making trades 9, 10 o'clock, signing guys at night. So it's just been so much, man. We've come such a long way from the ending of last season, where I don't know about you, but at the end of last season, I was just done. Like I was so done with the team, man. I really was. And I don't know. I kind of feel like back into it. Every year they could sell it to me. They suck me right back in. And I don't know about you, but I'm in.
It sucks. It truly sucks. Like I feel like a fool. It's fool me once, shame on them, but fool me twice. The shame is supposed to be on me. And this is now, the 30th time in a row that I'm getting fooled. The only reason why I wouldn't say I was completely done last year was because I knew Rodgers was coming back. Right, the defense. I was actually surprised. I didn't think the defense would look as good against better teams than they, as they did 2 years ago. But you can make the argument that they actually looked better.
Yeah.
And they bullied Jalen Hurts, Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen. All those guys had 3-4 turnovers against the Jets defense. So, I mean, I actually almost fell more in love with the squad last year. What my big bone to pick was the inactivity of Joe Douglas once Rodgers got hurt, forcing us to watch Tim Boyle, Trevor Siemian, and dare I say Zach Wilson play football in a Jets jersey was torture. That was torture. I was calling him Kim Jong Douglas because it was torture making us watch these teams. But now everyone being healthy, and then Joe, I can't call him that right now, right? Because he's had quite the offseason.
Yeah, he definitely has. And then everyone on Jets Twitter calls him JD. I'm starting to call him Trade D. He's got to be Trade D from now on. But getting back to like what you said about the defense, you're absolutely right. It's like I love our defense. They can go toe to toe with anybody and beat them. They can beat any team in this league. And I mean, they didn't, but they almost did. And it was never like the lack of defense that cost this team games. Now, can you argue maybe a little bit that the defense has gotten worse? I mean, we lost Quentin Jefferson, Al Woods, JFM, which I get the whole JFM thing, but in a going all in year, 15 million. I get it. You got to dump him, but it just hurts to lose like a starting. And he's an anchor on that defensive line, right along with Quinnen. Now, I think it was Green Bean that had recently said that the production from JFM to Michael Clemens isn't that big. And I think there was a 20% gap between JFM and Michael Clemens, but the numbers really weren't that off. So what are your thoughts about, do you think the defense has gotten worse with the losses of those guys, or do you think they're going to be just fine? What are you thinking?
Um, I definitely, in terms of Clemens versus JFM, um, when he was first gone, that was my thought was, Clemens also does the inside outside type deal. Hopefully just give him some extra burn. But I'm also hearing Calais Campbell, who actually had a fantastic season just last year for the Falcons. I believe he had 7 sacks, which would be higher than most of the players on our squad. So that would, and he also does the inside outside on that D line. So I'm open to that. His salary last year was 7 mil. That's less than half of what JFM was being paid. So the salary dump. Let's see if Calais can even take a pay cut from there. I mean, it seems like Joe Douglas has done a fantastic job getting guys to sign on highly incentivized deals. I think Calais seeing so many old guys in the locker room, knowing that this is a 1 year all in year, I think he would be enticed to do it. So that's probably my plan A, but plan B is definitely Clemens. He's definitely got a whole bunch of dog in him. So I do have faith in him taking this step. But if you want a more a high floor option, Calais Campbell's the guy. To answer the question about is the defense worse, I can only say that, or I can only answer it in 2 words. Hell no. I would not say they're worse. I would. Am I saying making the argument that they're better? I might. I might. I think Hassan Reddick is a massive upgrade from Bryce Huff. And that's not to say Bryce Huff wasn't tremendous. I love Bryce Huff. I wish they re-signed Bryce Huff. But Hassan Reddick has been a mercenary just getting sack after sack year after year on this defensive line with Quinnen Williams, right? Quinnen Williams, his numbers took a step back, but that was because of all the doubles, sometimes triple teams that he was facing. You cannot do that with Hassan and the supposed development of Jermaine Johnson. I think the reason why I really like this defense again for the third straight year is because guys like Jermaine Johnson are most likely going to be better than they've been. Quincy Williams, who no one was calling him an all-pro at this time last year, but he's an all-pro right now. He is going to get better. Tony Adams is going to get better. I think there's so many guys. Sauce. This is just year 3. I think you have too many guys that are getting better. The only person who you can argue, he might not be as good as he was last year is CJ Mosley because of age. But he hasn't lost a step to me. My man's still stepping, our Capitan, if you will.
Yep.
So I'm going to have to say I think the defense actually got better because of Reddick making that much of a difference over Bryce Huff.
Yeah, he definitely is going to be a playmaker, and like something tells me that they're not done. Like I could still see a couple moves coming. I'm a little surprised that they didn't make many moves on the defensive line, especially like going into the draft. The 2 running back thing kind of pissed me off a little bit, and it's nothing against either one of the players. It's just more of the fact that there was other holes rather than 2 running backs. Now you mentioned Calais Campbell. The thing with Calais Campbell, I like that. I would absolutely love that. The thing is, he chose Atlanta over the Jets last year, and Atlanta was a worse option because the Jets did offer him a contract, and I think he even came in for a visit, if I'm not mistaken.
I think so too.
And so I wonder if there's maybe some bad blood with Joe Douglas saying like, we're not going to give this guy another shot. I don't know. I mean, that would be kind of taking it personally when it is just a business. But I mean, yeah, I would absolutely love that. And then, like you said, like our defense, everybody getting better. Everybody getting a little bit more experience. So you got to absolutely love it. Chuck Clark coming off of an injury, that's a little scary. So don't know about that, but I'm gonna put some blind faith and Chuck Clark saying that he's going to be able to bounce back. He's still on the younger side of his career. The safety room, obviously, they moved on from Jordan Whitehead. Do you think that the safety room is improved now?
I'm gonna have to say probably not. Probably not to the safety room. I mean, it's largely the same, right? We were expecting a better Tony, right?
Yep.
Clark over Whitehead. I mean, we'll see. We'll see. Like you said, he's coming back from injury, so we can only hope. And then Ashton is Ashton. Will he be better? Maybe, maybe. What I do like about the defense right now is the coaching. First of all, right, they have proven to be able to develop players. Either undrafted guys, low ranked guys, right? Michael Carter II, our star nickel corner, might be the best corner in the league. 5th round pick, right? And now we're talking about Quantez Stickers and his incredible story, just getting drafted by the New York Jets, and he's a 5th round pick. Mr. Irrelevant, Jalen Key, being a safety. So I can't say right now on paper that room is better, but I do have faith in this coaching staff being able to develop defensive talent. They've done it time and time again. Quincy Williams, Bryce Huff, Tony Adams, Jamian Sherwood, who's one of the starting linebackers. I mean, on the other side, like if we were talking about the other side of the ball, I haven't seen it. I haven't seen them develop anybody. Garrett Wilson was a finished product. Brees, finished product. Somebody, when they had to develop guys, oh my God, back then, Zach Wilson, it's been tough. It's been tough. So I really like, the defensive picks. I definitely I wouldn't have drafted any running back, let alone 2. I really would not have drafted any running back. I did want the linebacker Jeremiah Trotter Jr. Just because, and I think a lot of fans are overlooking this fact, is that the defense has remained pretty healthy these last 2 years. The offense, saying that Joe Douglas never built an offensive line, that's actually not true. It's just that the offensive line has been extraordinarily injured over these last 2 years. Tops in the league, both the last 2 years. They had more guys on IR on the offensive line than the entire rest of the roster combined. So health is what matters. Right now, as the offensive line is set up, can this team withstand an injury to Tyron Smith? I think yes, right? You have Olu Fashanu, put him right in there. Can this team withstand an injury to Quinnen Williams?
I don't know about that.
Exactly.
That's the thing. There's really not a whole lot of depth on that defensive line, which kind of scares me a little. And then, the fact that we're just getting rid of JFM for not a 2024 6th round pick, not a 2025 6th round pick, but a 2026 6th round pick. That's what he's worth. I think you could have gotten a 3rd, a 4th. I mean, he's a good player.
He is.
At least in my opinion. Now, I like that you switched over to the offensive side, and there's a part of me that could see why they draft. I mean, it's almost a given. There's 3 things guaranteed. Death, taxes, and Joe Douglas drafting a running back. Every year since he's been here, he's done it. The Michael P. Ryan and, Michael Carter, and I'm sure I'm forgetting a couple, but every year that he's been here, he's done it. So I knew that there was 1 coming. The 2 kind of scared me, and I'm like, what are we doing? Especially like all the trades that he did. I was working on the last day of the draft on that Saturday, and like every time I'd open up my phone, like I couldn't even keep track of it. I really couldn't. Like I would see like a trade with the Lions, and then a trade with the Packers, and then a trade back with the 49ers, and then I was like what is going on here? I'm like, what is going on here? And then to see that they still kind of walked away like with 7 picks, where like technically they would have like 1 in each round. So I'm like, all right, it's a little strange. But yeah, the second running back, I mean, who knows? The one that we're not even talking about, I don't even remember his name. I know Allen. I don't even remember his name, to be completely honest with you. Yeah, Davis. Yep. I mean, he could be like the breakout one that we're not even talking about that becomes the next big running back. And then unfortunately with the market with running backs the way it is now, we might unfortunately be thinking about life after Brees in the next couple of years. As much as I hate to say it, and as much as I would hate to lose him, you think Giants fans want to lose Barkley? I get it. Different situations, injury history, can never stay healthy. Brees Hall had that one injury, proved that he could bounce back better than ever last year. I mean, the guy was a dog. But before we move on, James, there's something that we have to do. We have to say hello to Elmo because if we don't,
What's
uh,
up, Elmo? I'm sorry about my wall, man. Yeah.
Isaiah Davis, that's what his name was. Yes, but yeah, getting back to Brees and the running back room, I wanted a veteran running back. I really did. I mean,
Same.
because like I said, I knew that there was going to be the one rookie that probably wouldn't see a lot of playing time. You know, but the two, I don't know. Especially like Ezekiel Elliott was out there. Now, granted, not a great option, but you got like you got Kareem Hunt, you got a couple other guys, Chubb. So there's some options out there. With that being said, with the moves that they're making right now, I don't think that they're going to be adding a veteran running back.
Oh,
And
definitely.
over the last couple of years, it really hasn't actually worked out. Le'Veon Bell, Frank Gore, even last year with Cook. So I could see maybe that they're a little timid to add a veteran running back. But now we have four running backs in the room. Do you think that Izzy Abataconda is maybe the odd guy out? He's not really the big fast guy. He's not really the pound the hole for the 1 or 2 yards guy. What do you think his role is? Do you think that he's the odd man out? Do you think he remains on the team, practice squad? What are you thinking with Izzy?
I'm so my heart is I don't even know the expression. I lost my words. That's how torn up I am about it because I am a big fan of Izzy. I do think that he is so well rounded. I thought he could have been the 1-2 punch to Brees. This time last year, I was saying that Brees and Abanikanda could end up being like a Chubb Kareem Hunt type tandem where you get the lightning and the Thunder.
Yep.
Braylon Allen, who's the one that a lot of people are excited about. I mean, he has tremendous size. He's young, like literally the first player in NFL history to be born in 2004. So yeah,
That's crazy for me, man. I was going to games in 2004.
yeah.
That's my first Jet memory. That's my first Jet memory, being at the old Giant Stadium in 2004. Jets at home versus the Miami Dolphins. Actually, crazy story.
Mhm.
And then I remember Wink Corbett running it in for a touchdown. My dad's like next to me going crazy. Some guy behind me, I don't know who the hell the guy was, picks me up so I could see it. And then the guy next to him accidentally like dumps beer on me. So here come, so we're coming home and like a little 4-year-old me like reeks like beer. My mom's like, "What the hell did you do to So that's my first memory, man. And that guy is just might have not even been born at the time. I don't know what month he was born, but yeah, I'm like, that's crazy. I was in school. I'm like,
He
wow.
might not. He might not. He might not have been. He
Yep.
could have been born October or like
Yeah,
November or something.
it's
Right.
crazy. Yeah, Armin said in 2004, I was 1 year out of high school. I was in kindergarten, Armin, which is
Yeah.
but still, I mean, I was still in school. It's crazy, man. Getting
So
old.
get your yeah, hey.
Zach Wilson
This
was the
hairline
first.
wasn't always all the way back here. I'll tell you that.
Zach Wilson was the first quarterback that I was older than. So I'm like, oh, so these kids are getting old.
This
It's
guy. But I've warmed up to the idea of Braylon. But he's like a specialty back. I still don't think that he is like the well-rounded guy, right? He's gonna be great on for pass blocking and then the short yardage. What I said to my friends was like the Vikings game 2 years ago with Mike White, right? And they're on the 1 yard line and they couldn't punch it in, right? Bam Knight lost yardage, right? And then they just did three
Barrios
different.
with the drop.
Yep,
Yep.
exactly. So with Braylon, that shouldn't be an issue. I would imagine with Brees, that wouldn't be an issue anyway. But with Braylon, for a fact that that's not an issue. So that's really great to have. But I mean, Izzy's speed, I believe, if we're talking 40 times, Izzy is the fastest of the bunch. He is the fastest of the four. He has
Yep.
good hands. Um, They talk highly about his instincts. I'm not sure what happened in between now and then. We're talking about 1 year, and they're drafting additional running backs. But I've kind of been this confused in the past, right? I was a big Michael Carter fan, and I was like, oh, Brees. Seems like there'll be a thunder and lightning, and now we see where Brees is, and we see where Michael Carter is. So maybe I'm the problem. I'm just too loyal to the picks. And Joe Douglas knows what he's talking about, and Braylon Allen is about to be a stud. It's
I hope so. I hope so. Now, Almo is giving you some praise and then just says that he hopes that you don't root for. Do you root for the Rangers?
I might have to plead the fifth, Elmo. My bad.
I do, and I say it with my chest. And what a way for the Islanders season to end yesterday. I mean, just crazy, but good,
I know.
good.
Good. Yes, definitely room for the Rangers. Hey, it's all about the Garden.
Yep.
My Knicks out here making me depressed,
Yep.
but yeah, Knicks, Rangers,
Yeah.
Jets, Mets. I'm an
I am
interesting
too.
breed.
That's what I'm saying. The Rangers, they're like the only thing I have going for me, year in and year out. Uh-oh.
Definitely,
I think Almo's
definitely.
upset.
Oh,
Oh,
I'm sorry. First the wall, now this.
yeah, I'm telling you, you can't please these Muppets around you. You just can't.
Yeah.
All right. So moving on with the offense now. Again, like I feel like I keep beating like a dead horse here with the whole two running backs thing that kind of pissed me off. The thing
Definitely.
that pissed me off the most about it is that resource could have been used for another wide receiver. And I mean, yeah, we got Mike Williams, but who knows what he's going to be, especially coming off of yet another knee injury. They're saying that he might not even be ready for camp. And I mean, you're one Garrett Wilson injury away from being kind of screwed at the wide receiver position. Now, granted, if Aaron Rodgers can stay healthy, which I think behind Fashanu and behind Tyron Smith, Morgan, I think we got something here. I think maybe we can do that. At least try. We're gonna at least try. We're just one Garrett Wilson injury away from being screwed. But I mean, if anybody can get the most out of Alan Lazard, it's Aaron Rodgers from what we've seen.
Definitely.
And then we got Corley, which I'm super excited about. But I still feel like we're a little thin at the wide receiver position. I would have liked to see that other running back pick turned into a wide receiver pick. What are your thoughts on our wide receiver room? Do you think it's a little thin? Do you think that we're going to be adding somebody else? Or what do you think with
It's
the wide receivers?
it's so crazy because last year I spent all of my energy, like literally this time last year, I spent all of my energy, or I guess it was actually because it was before the draft. I wanted Joe Douglas to draft JSN, the receiver who's now with Seattle, former teammate of Garrett Wilson, like have that Ohio State reunion. I wanted it so bad. Like JSN, we needed JSN. I was furious that they traded Elijah Moore, who is a talented receiver, regardless of how we feel about him as Jets fans, scorned or whatever. He is a talented receiver. Lost Elijah Moore, got Lazard. That's cool. Got Mecole Hardman, who I did not care about whatsoever. If Andy Reid cannot use you well, why am I expecting Nathaniel Hackett to resurrect your career? And then Corey Davis, was going through whatever he was going through, but I was never really a big fan of Corey Davis. I was begging for a receiver, and everyone called me crazy because they named all those guys. Garrett with Lazard, Mecole Hardman. Oh, Andy Reid didn't know how to use him. Like, we're going to use his speed. I look crazy. This time, I'm actually the opposite. I personally believe that the Jets receiving room is not that bad, especially with with Aaron Rodgers at the helm. I mean, if you look at the teams that he made it to the NFC Championship with, it was Devontae Adams, Alan Lazard, and a bunch of
Just some other
nonsense
guys.
players,
Yep.
right? Like that's it. Right now, we got Rodgers throwing to Garrett Wilson, Mike Williams, Alan Lazard, Malachi Corley. Like, I can't put Corley down there with MVS and some of those scrubs down there. Like, I can't do that. I feel like he has four quality receivers, and And I liked Xavier Gibson as a slot receiver last year. Did he have a lot of stats? No, nobody had stats. Garrett barely had stats last year because of the inept quarterback play. I think people are forgetting that a high tide raises all boats, but a low tide sinks all boats. And the low tide has killed everybody's perception. Like, even with Brock Bowers versus Tyler Conklin, and people are talking about Bowers and Conklin now. Don't get me wrong, I would have been excited for Bowers, but that doesn't mean that Tyler Conklin isn't a tremendously talented tight end. I think the weaponry that the New York Jets have right now is more than enough. I'm going to say it louder for the people in the back. More than enough for the Jets to win a Super Bowl. I do think that, because I don't think Allen Lazard is garbage. I do think Garrett Wilson is a tremendous talent. I do think Mike Williams, if he's not healthy week 1, we're talking about Super Bowl. He can come back week 11. I don't care. Let's get this money.
Yes, sir.
And I don't think Lazard is trash. And Malachi Corley, the Yak King. Tyler Conklin counts, right? He also is a yak monster. And you know who also counts in this passing game? The NFL leader in running back catches of last year, Breece Hall. So I think Aaron Rodgers is flush, like me at the Taco Bell, flush with weapons for this season.
Bro, you're pumping me up, man. I'm ready to go watch some Jets football now.
Yeah.
You get me all into it. You get me excited. But,
me too.
Do you think Xavier Gibson is going to have a bigger role this year?
Maybe. He should still be, or I would let me not say he should, but I would imagine he is still going to be the returner. I believe it or not, I didn't love his returning. He had the one, against the Bills game, right? Won the game.
I was there for that, man.
You were I
was there.
Well, that night must have been.
So what happened that night was it took me 4 hours to get there. So I was so ready, dude. I had like all this food ready. I had like a shit ton of beer. I was like, all right, like I'm gonna go in feeling pretty good. I'm like, I'm gonna get loud. My girlfriend went with me. She's a Bills fan. I was with 3 other Bills fans. Now, out of the AFC East, I can tolerate the Bills fans. The Patriots and the Dolphins fans, I can't do. But the Bills, I'm like, all right, like whatever. I could handle that. So yeah, it takes me 4 hours to get there. So not only did I have to go in there as a sober Sally, nothing, but water in my system. I'm walking in. I miss Aaron Rodgers running out. Yeah, like that great historic. I missed it. All of that.
Oh no.
I walk it. So like I don't know if you've ever like been to like MetLife, but like right outside the stadium, they have like that little turf area. I'm like walking right there, and I just get a text from my dad. He's hurt. All I got. He's hurt. So I'm calling him. He's not answering. I'm like, what do you mean he's hurt? Who's hurt? Who? I'm like, not Aaron. Like, don't tell me Aaron's hurt. I'm like, who is hurt? And then nothing. So I walk into the stadium. I go to sit down, and all of a sudden I see Zach Wilson trotting out. And I'm like, what the hell, man? I'm like, come on. Oh, yeah. I don't think I'll ever recover from that. And not only that, after that, so like I said, like I had nothing to drink. I was expecting to go in there being like loud and proud and everything. Couldn't do it. So then at halftime, I go down. I'm waiting online. I'm like, I got to get like a beer or something. Just get me going. So I wait 20 minutes. The guy ahead of me just can't figure out what he wants, and then gets a beer. So I look up. They have like the little teleprompter, little TV monitor on top of the concession stand. I look up. I see Zach Wilson running out. Third quarter starting, they're not serving beer anymore. That was my night. And then like we had the nice win. So Xavier Gibson will always have like a little special place for me in my heart. But even like after that win, I had this really like eerie feeling. I'm like, yeah, it's nice that we won, but we're done. I had like such a hole in my heart. Like like my gut was just, I was gutted. I didn't know what else to do. I didn't know what to say. I had no words. And then actually that night around 4 o'clock in the morning, I was just sitting in my kitchen, just sitting there. And I like recorded like a little video. I had like no voice. And I'm just like, how much more does this team have to go through? Like, what else do we have to go through? When is it going to end? And I knew right away that when Vinny was there, Testaverde, I'm like, why is he here? I'm like, why? Nothing good is gonna come from this.
The
Guy,
omen.
guy comes around for nothing. I haven't seen Vinny Testaverde ever in my life. All of a sudden, we bring him around for this game, and and Aaron Rodgers happens to suffer the exact same injury. All I'm saying is, I want Aaron Rodgers to get a restraining order from Vinny Testaverde for all of next year. But
Hey,
it's crazy to me. So, like I said, I like Xavier Gibson. I would like a little bit more, uh, just continuity and a little more, just be a little bit more steady. I mean, we've seen him drop like 3 balls last year. So
yeah.
in a way, like I did miss Braxton Berrios for that. So I'm hoping that he does happen to, improve in that department, just catch the balls. We can't be affording to drop punts. Can't do it. Especially with how bad our offense was last year. Like I said, I think we're going to be, leaps and miles better than last year. But Armin has a point here. Boyd met with the Chargers this week and will meet with the Titans later this week. What are your thoughts on Tyler Boyd? If they were to, I know that you're actually pretty high on the wide receivers, but if they were to add a veteran, do you like somebody like Tyler Boyd?
Tyler Boyd pre-draft. That was who. Or actually, I guess it was pre-Mike Williams. That's who I was hoping to see because I at that time was thinking, Garrett and Lazard on the outside, the slot, and Tyler Boyd, tremendous in the slot. He's a taller slot receiver, and Aaron likes height. I mean, he can work with whatever, but I know he prefers the height for those jump balls, and all those red zone packages. So I'm definitely a big Boyd fan. Obviously, if he were to come at this point, I would just be like, oh, super stacked. But I really think, I guess Jets media, Jets fandom is sleeping on Xavier Gibson as a route runner, especially against zone coverage. We saw we saw consistently him finding those pockets, those soft spots in the zone. And that was, honestly, like that's where Zach was finding him. That's where he was seeing his success. Now imagine that with Aaron Rodgers, or imagine that where now there's an actual other threat on either side of the field in Garrett and Mike. I think Gibson would have been fine. But now we're talking about somebody like Malachi Corley who can't, or not can't, but it's harder to bring him down, right? Gibson, he's a small guy, right?
Yep.
I mean, he gets yak because he's shifty, but his real big thing is finding the spot in the zone, right? Corley, throw him a bubble screen, and he's supposed to, get that yak. So it's a little different, but I do like the idea of having Gibson. In terms of punt return, kick return, I don't love the idea of having Gibson. I hope that something can be done. I know they tried Izzy, but then Izzy had the fumble last year. But if that's something that he can shore up, that would be a great way to kind of keep him involved in the squad because again, he has that home run breakaway speed. Braylon Allen doesn't have that. There's not a lot of guys on this team that can have that. So I think that would be really nice to have.
Yeah, no, I agree with you on that. And then we had mentioned the tight ends briefly. Were you in the camp of drafting Brock Bowers?
I definitely am not what they call a Bowers boy.
Okay.
But I'm not gonna lie, I would have been hyped if they got Brock Bowers. I mean, they say, George Kittle. Anytime you throw around a name like that in player comp, that raises the eyebrows. They call him the Yak King, right? Then when he gets the ball in his hands, he's like a running back. So yeah, I definitely. On my Instagram, I had a thing where I said the best possible things the Jets can do in the draft. And on tier one, I had two options for tier one. One of them was trading back, grabbing an offensive tackle, and then their next pick being a wide receiver, which is actually exactly what happened. Or just drafting Brock Bowers at number 10. Because if he truly is George Kittle level, then that's a move that would not only help Aaron, but it would help Jordan Travis as well in 2-3 years, having a tight end of that caliber on the roster for a on a rookie deal, right? You know, they say a young QB or an inexperienced QB's best friend is that tight end. To have somebody that level
Yep.
would be monumental. But again, that's not a slight to Conklin or my boy Jeremy Ruckert, who I'm a
Yep.
huge fan of. And I hope this vote of confidence. I know he was hyped, right? He had the post on social media after Bowers wasn't drafted. You know, he was like, so hopefully this is that vote of confidence that he can be a Jet for a long time, because I definitely have a lot of faith in both of them.
Yep.
I think Ruckert's ceiling could be like Dalton Schultz, who is a very, very solid tight end. I mean, no one's going to say, oh, Dalton Schultz is the best tight end in the league, but he is an extremely reliable, consistent tight end that has done work for the Cowboys, and in year one with the Texans was phenomenal as well. I think that is what Jeremy Ruckert can be. So I'm not
So,
sad or mad at all that they don't have Bowers. You know, oh, we
yeah.
didn't get Kittle, we got Dalton Schultz. I'm
Right.
perfectly fine with that.
And I really think that our tight end room is very underrated. And you know, Zach's rookie year, a lot of people were calling Conklin stone hands, and I'm like, you know, maybe. But every year, statistically, in his stats, he's gotten better. And look at who was his quarterback. You know, we have nothing but the exact opposite of continuity at quarterback. And then somebody like Jeremy Ruckert, I think, you know, he's poised to have a breakout season. And a lot of people were saying that if the Jets were to draft Brock Bowers, it was kind of an indictment on the way that the Jets feel about Jeremy Ruckert. But I just don't think that we've seen enough of what Jeremy Ruckert can do. He hasn't had enough playing time. And then we also have Kenny Yeboah, we have Zach Kuntz, whatever you want to say. I know how to read. I know how to read. Just saying. But yeah, I really think that Aaron Rodgers is going to be able to elevate our tight end room as well. I don't think that. I mean, Tyler Conklin was pushing 5, 6, 700 yards with Zach Wilson, Tim Boyle, Mike White, Chris Streveler. The list goes on and on. So I really think that there's a lot of untapped potential in there. And I think that Tyler Conklin is slowly but surely turning into that veteran leader on the team, where he's been around a couple years now. He knows what the coaching staff expects from him. He's stepping up his game each and every year. He's getting better each and every year. And Jeremy Ruckert going into what, year 3 now? You know, he's gonna have to start stepping up, getting a bigger role. And I'm all here for it, man. But with them drafting Olu at 11, I absolutely love that pick, because we've seen so many times with first round picks, pretty much every year, we're not able to develop them, especially with quarterbacks. I get a different position, but especially with first round picks, we throw them right in there and they're not ready. And then we just ruin first round pick after first round pick after first round pick. So now Olu Fashanu is going to, or Fashanu, however you pronounce it, he's going to be able to sit and learn from one of the greatest offensive linemen of all time, especially of this generation. The guy that Olu looks up to, the guy that he mimics his game after. He's going to be able to sit and learn from him. You can't ask for anything better, man. What are your thoughts on Olu? What do you think his ceiling is?
I'm ecstatic with Olu. I think it is a tremendous situation. Well, let me say this. I think we set up a couple of rooms where you bring in anybody and it's a great situation to be in. I think the quarterback room is the obvious one there to learn behind Aaron and Tyrod. But I think this tackle position is very, very similar. You know, Tyron Smith, Aaron Rodgers, first ballot Hall of Famers, one of the best, like you said, of this generation, arguably of all time, to play the position. And then you have someone like Morgan Moses, who's probably better at his position than Tyrod is at his, but still the same concept of a veteran, very dependable guy where you can kind of bounce off of them both to kind of mold your game. And like you said, Olu specifically was already a Tyron fan. This is almost like a, I can't even think of the word, like almost like shell shock moment. Like this is his idol, right?
Yep.
It was kind of like the Zach to the Aaron Rodgers thing. And we can argue about how much and all this, but I feel like it is inarguable that Aaron Rodgers helped Zach Wilson improve his game. It may not be to the level, or I mean, it's clearly not to the level that we were hoping. But of course, that time was also truncated, right? So if Tyron goes down and that time is truncated, I do think Olu has a higher base than Zach. I think with Zach, there are questions, his size, the level of competition, right? The intangibles, how processing the game or processing the speed of the NFL. With Olu, he projects to be a very, very strong pass protector. The concerns with him are in the run game. So I think that if he were to be thrown in the fire, if Tyron Smith is the guy who is hurt 4 plays into the season, like that, I do think he would fare better than I think Olu would fare better than Zach did in the similar circumstance. So I'm really high on that. I think he could be DeBrickashaw Ferguson, which is a comp that I heard from an actual NFL scout. I didn't just pull that out my butt. I heard people say that. I think this is a slam dunk pick. One thing that I love about this regime is that they go after guys with high character, high moral fiber, and Olu is one of them. Great kid, great heart, great family. We saw it all on TV, when he got drafted. And I think having Tyron Smith and Morgan Moses is just unbelievable. It's the best case scenario for him, and that's what he said. Those are the words out of his mouth.
Yep. Yeah. Well, you down to take some callers in a few? We got Mario. Mario, just hang on a minute, buddy. We're gonna get to you. What are your thoughts on Jordan Travis? Finally, like another guy that injuries have rattled him a little bit. Maybe derailed a little bit of his career. Obviously, we know what happened with Florida. He's a great quarterback who's going to be able to sit and learn behind one of the greatest of all time, not forced to play. He's redshirted. He's not redshirted in terms of him being the backup quarterback where he's going to have to come in and play. We have Tyrod Taylor. I think that this kid is in such a good position that, dare I say, he might be our starting quarterback in 3 years. And I don't think that's crazy to say. What are your thoughts?
It's definitely not crazy to say. I would say that's the overwhelmingly popular opinion of today.
Oh, you
for
left.
sure. And like I said with Olu, Tyron, and Morgan, Aaron, Tyrod, and Jordan, it's a perfect scenario. And Jordan, just like Olu, is another guy, who they say, he has it here, he has it here. Big arm, mechanics need help, mechanics need work. And that's where, when you look at what Rodgers did for Zach, that is where he improves. Like Zach, watching him for 2 years just miss the easiest throws, missing, just 5-yard out routes.
Yep.
The easy ones. That's what they kept saying for his entire career was, hit the easy ones. But this last year, Zach was actually hitting those. He was hitting his issues were elsewhere, in pocket presence and reading the field. But when he made the right read, like when he was comfortable, he was actually hitting those throws. So if Rodgers can do that for Travis, then okay, let's fix up the mechanics and we'll see. I personally, and this is super unpopular, I personally don't like the idea of proclaiming a late round quarterback as the guy, right?
I get it, dude. I get it.
Kirk Cousins, Dak. Like I don't want to have Dak. I do not want to have Dak. Somebody who is gonna be a fantasy stud, but crumble every single time in the playoffs. Like one playoff win in however many years for Dak and for Cousins, right? They have one apiece, but they have all these regular season, not even accolades because they don't have an MVP or anything like that. But if I see Dak in fantasy this year, I'm probably gonna pick him up because I know he's gonna put up stats. I do not want that for the New York Jets. What I want is somebody who can win football games. So I'm not saying that Jordan can't do it. But I am saying that historically, it is the high round quarterbacks that do it. But I understand that Jordan was supposed to be a higher round quarterback that only fell because of this injury. So, I think the jury's still out. I mean, we still even have to see how he recovers. Teddy
Right.
Bridgewater was looking like a franchise quarterback. Then he has his injury, and ain't nobody talking about Teddy Bridgewater as a franchise quarterback right now.
Yeah. No, absolutely
So
right. Absolutely
I
right.
think the jury is definitely still out on that one.
Yeah. And the good thing is he's gonna have a couple years to sit there and develop and learn the right way. So right now, I want to bring on a first-time caller. I don't know Mario Federico, but we're gonna bring him on. Mario, you are on. I don't know if you can hear us. It looks like your mic is muted. Give him a second. No camera. Uh,
Oh,
you there,
Hello?
Mario?
Yeah.
How you doing, Mario?
I
Welcome to
hear
the
you.
show.
Thank you. I'm doing good. How are you?
Good, good, good. So I'm sure you've been listening to what we've been talking about. Just wanted to take a couple callers. What are your thoughts on the draft so far?
Personally, I love the Olufashanu pick, but the court, but like he said, I don't know about the quarterback being the guy that we drafted. Like, I don't want this to be another Zach Wilson where he was supposed to sit behind Aaron Rodgers, but he gets injured, then you have to throw him into the fire. But other than that, I think the draft was all right.
If I mean, it's hard to give it a grade, but if you had to give it a grade based on positions of need, what would you give it?
I'd give it a B minus because I was watching the draft. There was a point in the draft where the Jets had around or so fourth round picks, and there was still, and this draft had a lot of depth for wide receivers, and I think that we should have got a bit more instead of trading those fourth rounders. I think that we should have got because was a good receiver available. Jerry Rice's son, Brendan Rice. I was watching the draft with my family. We all wanted Brendan Rice to get drafted, but that obviously didn't happen.
Right,
But
right.
other than that, I think that this draft was pretty alright. I think Joe Douglas did a alright job on it.
Yeah, definitely. I didn't ask you. What is your grade on the draft so far?
I gave it a B. I give it a B. I like Olu and Corley. I think are big foundational pieces, and I think when you get later, like Stiggers and some even Braylon Allen, right? I think we might see a lot more than I was expecting. And yes, there was a time with the three fourth rounders where I was looking at Jeremiah Trotter Jr. Mario was looking at Brendan Rice, but Joe Douglas was just looking at more trades. But I will say, getting a third rounder for next year is actually a pretty sweet deal. So, I can't even get too mad at Trade D for because that's a valuable asset to have,
Yeah.
especially in what could be a reload year, as we try to cheaply remain at a high level after hopefully a Super Bowl contention or Super Bowl win.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So, Mario, I just wanted to thank you for calling in, my friend.
Yeah.
All right, have a good one.
You too.
All right, we're gonna go to Armin real quick. Armin.
What's up,
What's
Liam?
going
Hi,
on?
James.
Yo.
I agree with your draft grade. I have it as a B as well. I love the fact that they prioritize the offense in the draft. The I would have liked another receiver or an offensive lineman. I
Same.
do think they're going to sign a veteran interior offensive lineman to back up Simpson and ABT. I think that's why they didn't go more offensive linemen. And I also think they want to develop Carter Warren and Max Mitchell as swing tackles. So taking another young offensive tackle when you took Fashanu at pick 11, I think that was out of the question.
Would you take Connor McGovern back?
Yeah, yes. because he could also play guard. I think they're going to look for that guy that plays guard and center. There's also a Mason Cole who might come cheaper. That's still on the free agent market. That could play center and guard. So I think they're going to look for that hybrid center guard backup type of interior offensive lineman.
Definitely hope you're right with that because we need it. We definitely need it.
I would like a receiver, but I also think that also depends on if they get rid of Lazard.
That's not happening.
It's not happening. I agree. It's not happening.
They can't. This year, it would. I mean, they would just replace the money that they saved with JFM by cutting Lazard.
Well, if they trade him and designate it as a post June 1st, they get $10 million in cap savings.
So for this year, I mean that's true. They get $10 million off the dead cap. Like they would still have a dead.
They'd
cap
have $42 million and not $52 million in dead.
Yeah. So,
I was surprised that they didn't draft the front seven guy in day 3. That they went both secondary for both for the defensive, like a corner and a safety. But maybe they. I do think they look at a veteran safety. I mean, you can't trust Chuck Clark coming off the injury.
Nope.
Yeah. I don't agree.
My preference is Micah Hyde, Eddie Jackson, or Quandre Diggs. I'm not against Justin Simmons, but what has me cause is he was suspended twice, I believe, last year for hits.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And
we got a very special comment here. Boy Green is in the chat.
Oh, what's up, Boy Green?
Boy Green, feel free to call in if you want. Just saying, you don't have to, but if you'd like to, we're open for it.
I just feel those hits with this team can cost us the standings for the division and the wild card spot, and it could come against a playoff team, or it could come against a team that's below 500 that we should easily win, easily beat. That the flag gets us and we lose the game. That's why I have a cause for Justin Simmons. Not against him, I would but I just prefer those other 3 guys.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely think that we do need like a little bit more depth at the safety position, especially just like you said, like with the unknown of Chuck Clark coming off of an injury. But if anything for me, I'm looking at maybe another offensive lineman, whether it be Connor McGovern, or what do you guys think about David Bakhtiari? He seems to be linked with the Jets every other day.
It sounds like Armand is not a fan, and
I don't think they're going to sign another tackle because they want to develop Mitchell and Carter Warren, and they got Fashanu.
I would agree.
I think they're going to look more interior guys. The guy that could play a guard and center.
Yeah, I think they, because they have so many tackles right now that I think that is their priority. We'll see, Boy Green. I don't know what time, but
we got to cap off at 9:30 for Woody.
Yes, that is true. That is true.
So we can go a little bit longer.
But yeah. So and Bakhtiari, like that, I personally was never a fan of signing. Especially once Tyron Smith became a Jet. It's like, how can you have 2 glass bowls in the same house? Like you just, one or the other would have been fine, but I'm perfectly cool with that. I will completely second Armand's suggestion of Mason Cole or Connor McGovern. We know that Wes Schweitzer can also play, the guard center, but it's multiple, right? This is an offensive line that lost all of their starters, everybody. So I want 10 players.
Yep. I want to overdo it.
And Max Mitchell is actually a Swiss Army knife because they had him play right guard last year. So he could be that hybrid guard tackle guy. And you bring in a McGovern or a Cole to pair up with Schweitzer as the center guard, multifaceted.
And then you got Carter and Fashanu.
You got
that's your backup.
And then you got 4 tight ends on the, Rutgers, could block. So that's an extra lineman right there. Yaboa is more of a receiving guy. Kuntz is more of a receiving guy. We don't know how one of them is going to be either on the practice squad or outright released or traded.
Kuntz is
Yeah.
probably going to be on the practice squad. I mean, Aaron Rodgers vouched for him publicly, so that's got to hold some weight.
Oh,
Yeah.
now let's get to the running back position.
Okay.
And I heard this. I think Green Bean brought this up. Davis, Nick Borden's spot might become available, the fullback
Yeah, I
spot.
saw that.
So he was thinking maybe Davis is RB3 / and sharing reps at the fullback spot with the tight ends, who's ever on the roster for the tight end spot. Because, the OG type of fullback, is not in use as it used to be back in the 70s, 80s, 90s. I mean, Kyle Juszczyk in San Francisco, and you got Baltimore with their guys that at the fullback positions. Like, those are the only two teams in us that really carry a fullback. Now everybody either carries 4 tight ends or they carry 4 running backs, and that 4th running back is a hybrid running back fullback.
You know what's funny too, Armand, is I remember last year when Aaron Rodgers got elevated to the practice squad and they had to get rid of Nick Baldwin, how pissed off the entire Jet fan base was. And now they're like, oh, we don't even need a fullback. So it's just funny how like things come full circle in that position. But
I do wonder if they will carry 4 running backs. And like I brought up Izzy as a returner for kickoffs with his speed and the new kickoff rules.
I think they will. James, do you think that they do carry all 4? I kind of asked you that already, but do you think that they're going to carry all 4?
They carried 4 last year. Is he on the practice squad last year? He might have been on the practice squad actually.
He got hurt. Hurt when he started.
So they got that's pretty sweet. Because they had Michael Carter, Dalvin, and Brees.
I do think they're looking at running back also for pass protection. That's why they took the 2 running backs to also help out with the blocking. So maybe Izzy, within this year, with his training, has gotten better at pass protection. So now that gives you 3 running backs behind Brees that are good at pass protection to help out. Maybe they're getting ready to do the tush push. You never know. Maybe not with Aaron. Maybe with Tyrod.
With Aaron, imagine them tush pushing Aaron.
We don't need that.
We don't.
We don't need. Leave that man's tush alone.
Tyrod, use Jordan Travis with the tush push.
Yeah, that would be nice.
There's a part of me that like wishes that Zach would have gotten tush pushed a couple times. Like I just think it would have been funny.
Yeah.
Against the Eagles. Should have did it against the Eagles.
That's great. That's great. But yeah, I mean, I really hope that they add somebody else. Armin, do you think that they're going to add another wide receiver?
I want them to. Like I brought up the 4 guys that I prefer. I know everybody wants Corey Davis back. I think people only want Corey Davis back for one thing: his blocking skills. Yeah. When you look at, they got the pass protection with the 2 rookie running backs. You brought in Fashanu. You have all these offensive linemen. How about we get a receiver that can go over the top? DJ Shark. I look at Hunter Renfrow as I wouldn't mind OBJ. Just like he's probably 5th now on my list. DJ Shark can go deep. Zay Jones can go deep. Hunter Renfrow's a slot guy. Maybe he becomes the new Jordy Nelson for Aaron. Tyler Boyd is still out there. There are guys that I prefer over Odell.
But you don't feel comfortable with like because obviously like Garrett can go deep. Mike Williams is the best deep ball receiver like statistically.
But like I want more. I want more.
I do too. I agree. I want to get stingy.
Between Miami losing a crap ton of players and Buffalo losing a crap ton of players and what we have done, why not just add like this big ice cream sundae? Add more whipped cream, add more cherries, add more peanuts, add more candy to it, more hot fudge, more caramel sauce, strawberry sauce, add more. Just add more to this firepower.
Can we talk about Buffalo? Like, what the hell were they thinking?
There's a lot of hype on Keon Coleman.
He's somebody I wanted. Like, if it wasn't going to be Malachi Corley, that is who I wanted.
Well, all I know is that he shops at Macy's. That's really all I know about him. They definitely lost a lot. I will not lie though. Josh Allen is very good. He's very good. He's not very good against us. So I mean, it kind of nullifies the point.
Who is good against us?
That's a good point. Maybe Justin Herbert. Actually,
look at all the turnovers this defense had last year
Yeah.
against all the top quarterbacks. Now I
There's
don't expect all those turnovers to happen next year, but hopefully we get more sacks.
that'd be
know,
nice. We're
you
gonna
know.
add Bobby to the chat. Bobby, what's going on?
Hey, how you doing, guys? I
Hey,
remember
Bobby.
Woody and Liam. I know you guys. I
Yes,
don't know
sir.
Armin though. Armin, hi.
Hi,
Armin, are
Bobby.
you from New York?
Yes, I live in New Jersey.
Oh, you're originally from New York though?
No, I consider myself New York because I live right there.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
christened
know.
in
I
New
think
York.
so.
I was
Liam,
christened
are
in
you
House
from New
Kitchen.
York, right?
Yeah, I'm on Long Island.
Yeah, I used to live in Glen Oaks. You know where that is?
Sounds familiar.
You know Little Neck Parkway, exit 24.
Yeah.
That's where I
That's
used.
you. That was you.
Yeah. So I'm gonna give the Jets a B in this draft.
Okay.
It was like Mel Kiper. I should get paid for picking him. I
Yeah,
don't
you
like Mel
should, man.
Kiper though. No, not Mel Kiper.
Woody, do you like Mel Kiper?
He's all right. He's all right. He might be like Belichick, where his time is coming
Yeah.
to an end.
Oh,
He's more like a legacy
he had
name.
his. He should have ended his time a long time ago. Every time the draft comes out, he stinks. And then I like that running back you guys picked up, Allen.
Yeah. No, certainly seems like he has a lot of potential. I mean,
Yes.
it's
And I like the offensive tackle.
yep, Fashanu. What are your thoughts
Yeah.
on Neighbors?
Oh yeah, I think we're gonna be good with him. Yeah. I wanted like Alt because we need to keep Daniel Jones up. Our offensive line stinks. And our defense stinks too. You know why?
Why is that?
Because when we play the Eagles, the running backs run all over us. Now you know who they have now.
Oh yeah, Saquon Barkley.
Saquon.
Yeah. What? Don't laugh.
Oh, sorry, my bad. Sorry, I'm so sorry. I'm so
That's
sorry.
not funny. I'm not laughing. I'm crying. He's gonna probably run like over 200 yards on our team.
But you guys got one of the best lines in football, though. It's all good.
Yeah,
Sir.
what?
One of the
got one
best
of the best
defensive lines in
defensive
football.
lines.
You got that. Your front four. Whew.
Yeah, but they can't stop the run against the Eagles. Last year, we had two running backs that ran over 150 yards against us, at least.
Well, you don't have to worry about Boston Scott no more tormenting you guys.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, he went to, where did he go to?
The Chargers, I think. Oh no, the Rams. The Rams.
Yes, the Rams,
yep.
right. Where are you from, Woody, again?
I'm from New York. Yeah.
What part of New York?
Westchester.
Oh, yeah, Westchester, New City?
Yeah.
Yeah, my aunt's from that area.
Nice.
You see.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
were the
so-
famous Midnight Bobby from the Jake Asman show. Where are you from, Bobby?
I'm originally from New York. I was
Right.
born in the Bronx, and I moved to Queens.
Okay.
And we moved to New Hampshire, which was good because I couldn't stand my high school in New York. I went to
I hear ya.
Martin Van Buren High School. That was a stinky high school.
Okay.
Then I live in Smelly, Vermont. So that's
I never
Vermont.
heard that Vermont was smelly, but I mean, I'll take your word
well,
for it.
if you live up here compared to New York, yeah.
I don't know. New York City smells a lot. So
Yeah.
I
was
know.
about to say.
I gotta be down there smelling the smell because I miss. You know what I miss? Mr.
What do you miss?
Softy. I love Mr. Softy,
yeah, no,
and I
hear
like
you.
New
Mr.
York
Softy is.
pizza. New York pizza.
Yep.
Definitely.
Bread hot
Bagels.
dogs. Oh, bagels. Yeah, they don't have bagels up here. Like
Taylor ham.
what?
It's pork roll.
Oh yeah, there's two. You watched the Jersey Shore when the situation and Nicole got into it.
I can't say that I have, but I can't speak for James or Armand.
I
Yeah.
have not.
So in New Jersey, where I'm from,
Yeah.
the Northern Jersey people
Yeah.
say Taylor ham. The Southern Jersey people say pork roll. Now
Yeah.
I'm a North Jersey guy, but I say pork roll because it just sounds better. Taylor
because-
ham sounds too vanilla, too white like a wall.
Isn't that where the situation's from the north?
Not
Jersey,
sure.
I'm
Yeah.
not sure where
Hey,
he's from.
your pal who's on the show. What's your pal's name? who's on this
Dan?
show.
Dan?
Yeah, how's he doing?
He's all right. He's recovering from his surgery. So
Oh
definitely
no,
keep him
is
in
he
your
gonna
prayers.
be on Saturday night?
Saturday, I believe we're going on at 6. We're also going to be on tomorrow at 9
Yeah,
p.m.
but Saturday at 6, he has a special guest, right?
Yeah, and
We would assume so that he's going to be on Saturday.
Oh, good,
do you remember
because
now, Bobby, I got to be honest with you. Do you remember the bet
yeah,
that we had?
yeah, I straightened that up with Jake was even mad at your co-host.
No, he was not
Damn.
mad. He was not mad.
So
Yeah,
I
they
get to
mended
talk to
fences.
Craig, right? Can I talk to Craig on Saturday?
I'll see. I'll talk to Dan and see what I can do.
Because I gotta talk to him. I haven't
All
seen
right.
him in ages. He's
Right.
so funny, Craig Cardi. You guys are damn lucky you got him on. I go bananas talking to him.
All good, Boy Green. I appreciate you being in the chat. I was going to get
I
to you
like
next.
him. Do you like him?
Yeah,
I
but
like his
Green's my
dad.
guy.
yeah. I was
My
going to say
guy.
I think James likes him a little bit.
I like his dad. I like
Yeah,
his dad. You ever meet his dad?
Yes.
Yeah. I think
he-
we're trying to file in the adoption papers right now.
And then I met Jay Gasman's dad the other time. I got a free umbrella from his dad.
Nice.
Mm.
But
Yeah,
all right,
free.
Bobby. You have a good night. All right.
Oh, I gotta leave. Okay, I know I talk too much.
No, it's all right. We just got other people on it. I
Okay,
appreciate you
no
coming on.
problem. No problem. Nice meeting you, Armand.
All right,
Nice to
call
meet
in
you, Bobby.
again. All right.
Yeah, I know
Hopefully you'll be on tomorrow with us.
Call on tomorrow night, Bobby.
Okay, who's gonna be on?
We're gonna have Ryan from Jets Talk 24/7 on tomorrow at 9
Oh, I
p.m.
like him. He's awesome, isn't he?
Yeah,
I love his dog. I love his daughter. Oh my god, I love his.
I'm not familiar with his family members and his pets, but
Oh, I love his dog. I love
okay.
his dog.
I'll let you talk to him tomorrow. All right.
Oh yeah, thank you very much.
All right, no
I'll
problem.
see
You have a good night now,
tomorrow.
Bobby. All right.
Yes.
All right. We are going to J Jets X. J Jets X, you there?
Can you guys hear me?
Yep, we could hear
Yes.
I don't know. You can see me?
you. No.
No, blank screen.
I don't know why. That's weird.
Mm.
Hold on.
I don't know either.
Let me like my cam's on. Let me come back and join. Give me 1 second.
All
Sorry
right.
about that, fellas.
No problem. You take your
No
time.
worries.
All right. So I don't know why we got this weird.
Yeah. I feel like I need to back up. Like,
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with this. I can try it here. There we go.
Yeah.
All right. So Woody, now while we're waiting, a lot of people are. I mean, like the schedule release is coming out in the next couple of weeks. It's always sometime in May. I don't think they actually confirmed a date yet. Who do you want week 1? Everyone's saying, "Give me New England week 1. Let's beat them down while they have a rookie quarterback." What are your thoughts for week 1? Do you have any special preference there?
I never even thought about that of smacking up Drake May.
I feel like by default we have to hate Drake May. He's never done anything to me, but I hate him now. Got to.
Believe it or not, I was actually the highest on him in this upcoming draft. I'm not the biggest Caleb fan. I think Jaden Daniels is, I don't want to say one hit wonder, but kind of has had a lot happen in a short period of time. I thought Drake May was going to be like a Justin Herbert type guy. Now, obviously, now where he's been drafted, I hope he is Mitch Trubisky. I hope he is garbage. That's a pretty interesting one. I would have to look at all the opponents because honestly, maybe I want the Broncos week 1. Get that real, like, yes, the Jets beat the Broncos
We faced
last
them at
year
home this year, right? They're a home game for us.
Home game.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't worry about no one's tearing anything this season. Don't worry.
That's right.
Everybody's being safe. And now this is Aaron's revenge. Aaron's revenge against Sean Payton for what he said about Nathaniel Hackett. Because Zach actually we didn't really get no revenge. Like, Zach had 1 TD. It was the defense. But now let's get Aaron's revenge, put up 70 on them week 1, make that statement, And then, of course, they'll be talking about how Zach Wilson's on the team. But he probably won't even win the job. We'll be Bo Nix, and we'll just eat him
I
up
don't
for
know. Like
breakfast.
they might actually have like the worst quarterback room in the NFL right now with Jared Stidham, Zach Wilson, and then a rookie. Like they're not doing Bo Nix any favors.
Oh, don't forget they got Ben DiNucci. They got Ben DiNucci. They got four
Ben
quarterbacks
DiNucci.
now. And I am hoping, and somebody could click this. I hope Ben DiNucci beats Zach Wilson out for QB3.
Wow.
You guys can see me and hear me now, right?
Yeah, we can
Yes,
see
sir.
it clear as
I
day.
don't
You got a
know.
really nice setup back there.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that's my little Jets background I got for my show. LSU
Nice. Look
helmet.
at you.
Tremendous television going on with
Yeah.
Robert California
Yes.
breaking it down.
Not bad for someone who lives in Canada, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know why I'm on my iPad right now. Like I just did a show with Gunny, like probably about maybe an hour and a half ago, and my phone was working, but I don't know. It's
Saw
not
some of
working.
that. Gunny's a great guest. He was actually our first guest ever that I actually had on the show back in the Everything NYJ days.
Yeah, he's a good. That was actually my first time interacting with him, but I've been in contact and I've followed each other for a while. But he's a really good dude.
Yeah, I went out to dinner with him one time. He's a great guy.
Yeah, hopefully I
Yeah.
can get a chance to meet him at home opener or something. Really
You going
good
to the
dude.
home opener this year?
Oh, absolutely, 100%. I went last year, and I'm
Sorry.
more so involved in the Jets ever now, so I kind of have to be there, right? So
Yeah, I've gone like the last 2 years in a row, and like I don't know if I could do it again. I don't know. It's been miserable experience after miserable. Like the first year against the Ravens, it was out in the pouring rain. I sat there, watched them lose.
Yeah.
I was there too. I was at the Ravens game.
You were there?
I was
I
in
remember.
the, I got
We flew Gino Italy jet in, and like he stayed with me and everything. It was a cool experience. I wish I knew that you were there.
that was like my birthday present to myself.
It was Gino's as well.
Mm.
Woody, do you go to a lot of games?
Well, I live in North Carolina, so it's been a little bit of time.
Well, I don't want to hear that. I live in Canada, dude. I went to 4 last year. Come on, let's go.
You went to 4?
Yeah, man, I went to 4. I went to the home opener.
No, if I went to the home opener and Aaron Rodgers got injured, that's the only game I'm going to.
That's
Yeah.
all I did last year. I had
That's it. I'm done.
I had
Yeah, I
ticket
went to
reps calling me.
I went to the home opener with my dad, and then I went to the Giants game, which that was a shit show, but we won. And then I took my girlfriend to the Texans game, and she was a trooper. It was her first NFL football game. She sat there the entire time in the rain, didn't say a peep. Like she was cheering, but she wasn't complaining or anything. So good for her. And then went to the Commanders game, which was a good one. So
All right, yeah, you had a pretty good season.
Yeah, right. You went 3-1. Oh no, you went 4-0.
4-0. I am all time. I'm 4-1. I was at the Lions game 2 years ago because my buddies. I'm literally like where I'm in Canada. If I look up my apartment, I can see Detroit and where they had the draft. So I have a buddy who was a Lions fan, so he wanted to go to that. That was my first game at MetLife, and it was not good.
Yeah, no, I don't blame you for that.
It was good at points. It was definitely good at points.
I've been to quite
it
a
had
few.
moments.
Yeah, I was at the Ravens home opener, and then I was at that monsoon game against Jacksonville on Thursday night. That was a disaster.
That was the night I burned my Zach
December
Wilson
game?
jersey. No, I remember what game we're talking about. That was the week after the Lions game, right?
I
It was
believe so.
It was a Thursday night football. They were wearing black.
Yep, yeah, they were just booing Zach off the field, waiting for the kid to screw up.
That was the day I set my Zach Wilson jersey on fire. Lit it up. I was done. I got hate for it, but doesn't matter anymore. He's not on the team. It was a gift. Who cares?
Yeah, I don't blame you for that one. And then I was at the home opener this year, and then I was gonna go to a couple, and I'm like, I can't. But yeah, Woody, we got to get you up for a game, man.
Yes, no, you're 100% right. I'm gonna have to break the streak. The last game I went to was actually down here. I think was that that was Zach's first game.
Zach's first game. Yep.
Yeah, in Carolina.
Against the Panthers. Yeesh.
Yeah,
It's a bad game.
it was.
They're all bad games.
It was. But like Sam Darnold was on the other side, so it's kind of like both my kids were going out there trying to do what they do.
That's the game that Becton got injured.
Yeah, Greg
That's like
Van Roten.
Becton got injured every game. What are you talking about?
So
Sorry,
Jay Jets,
Becton never got injured when he was taking his bathroom selfies.
Yeah. Yeah.
So Jay Jets, what are your thoughts on the draft so far?
Oh, I mean, I don't know. You know, I was there, so I mean,
Did you
the
see
experience
Eminem?
was.
Were you like, yeah, you know, all pumped up and
Uh,
everything?
I'm from the area, so Eminem's pretty big around here, so it was pretty cool to see him. But it's like whatever. You see him all the time
Yeah,
now. But
whatever, you know, yeah.
yeah.
He was
But
behind
no.
he was behind me at Walmart the other day. Yeah, you know.
Yeah. I know the draft was good. Like the picks, I'm happy. The only one pick I'm not really happy with is the Isaiah Davis pick. But actually, I was talking to Gunny today, and he told me that I can't remember who said it, but he thinks Isaiah Davis could be a better running back than Braylon Allen, which I was like, that's kind of surprising because I never really heard of Isaiah Davis. I heard of Braylon Allen, but I don't know, man. So that's what he said. You never know. But that's the one pick I'm not really happy about. All the other ones I'm happy. I was pro Olu. I did a mock draft with Alan from New York Jets Planet the day before the draft, and I had Olu going to the Jets, and I was right. I don't want to brag about it, but I was right. That's who I wanted, so I'm happy they got him. I know a lot of people aren't. I don't know about you guys, but I was not on the Bauer boys train. I was definitely on the protect our 40-year-old quarterback that destroyed his ankle last year. So, but
I was on
other than that,
anything but defense. I told
yeah,
my
I mean,
friend-
I think everybody was.
I
Yeah.
told my friends if the Jets draft defense in the first round, I'm becoming a Swiftie and I'm becoming a Chiefs
boy.
fan.
I mean, yeah, I mean, other than that, like they nailed every pick. You know, Malachi Corley's a stud. He's gonna be a beast. Like I mean, I see a lot of like us we know, but like a lot of casual Jets fans don't know. This kid's gonna be a beast.
Yep.
He's gonna be really good for us. Like even Braylon Allen, like I said, I think he's gonna be a stud. Olu's gonna have his time. I think he's gonna play at some point in the season, unfortunately, but that's just how it goes.
Definitely.
The DBs they got the guy from the CFL. Shout out to me. But I don't know too much about him. He's he's good, but like I never really heard too much about him because I don't watch the CFL because I'm not gonna lie, it's kind of stupid. But if you're good enough to get drafted, to be the first ever player drafted from the CFL, you got to be pretty good. And he was the first cornerback to win Rookie of the Year in like 50 years. So I don't know. I'm pretty happy with the draft. Like, and then another one, Jordan Travis too. Jesus, that's a great pick. Like I know a lot of people are like, why are they picking a QB right now? But I'm like, what are you talking about? Jordan Travis isn't going to start this year anyway, no matter who he was picked by. So he's going to sit behind Rodgers for 2 to 3 years.
About Rodgers after this season,
Exactly.
Hope he's,
Yeah,
I have
and
a
they
feeling
signed.
if that's the case, I have a feeling that they're gonna bridge it with Teddy Bridgewater. I mean, with Tyrod
See, I
Taylor.
was about to
Oh,
say.
okay. Yeah. I was gonna say I think that ship sailed a long time ago, like 10 years ago.
Teddy Bridgewater is now a high school coach.
Yes.
But like they're doing it right, man. Like Jordan Travis and like they got our team is young, man. Like Sauce, Garrett, Brees, like Malachi now. They got young guy, even Mike Williams. I know they're gonna sign a 1-year deal, but you never know. Like this draft was built for the future. You know what I mean? Like Malachi Corley is gonna be used now, but like they plan for the future, and there's nothing wrong with that because going into this draft, the Jets were gonna do whatever the hell they wanted to do. So and they did whatever they wanted to do. I think the whole Minnesota Vikings trade was kind of stupid in the Minnesota Vikings part, but we got an extra pick from it. But I know that Schefter said he was kind of surprised that the Falcons didn't trade with us because they still could have got Michael Penix and assets, which is stupid to me. But one thing I know I was on it before I was listening to you guys. You guys brought up the Bills, and what the hell are the Bills doing? Because me and Gunny talked about this, and we were trying to think about it. It might even be dumber than what the Falcons did with Penix. Like, you trade your first-round pick to the team that has beaten you for the last 5 years, that has won 3 Super Bowls, and they draft Xavier Worthy. Like, what are you doing? You just screwed the league over even more.
That's
like
the
you just gave
back with the Chiefs.
You just gave a machine gun a scope. Like I don't understand. Yep. I don't understand. That move was beyond baffling to me.
And then they traded their first round pick completely away.
Yeah, that too. And they did get Keon Coleman, Coleman's going to be good.
Yeah, I
really
wanted
good.
It was either him or Corley for me. I wanted either one. What's up?
Yeah,
Jimmy?
but
I want to know what other teams called up Buffalo at 28 that made them select choosing to go with a trade route at Kansas City.
I just want to know, like, they have no receivers. They have who's the receiver? Curtis Samuel right now. Yeah. They have nobody. They have absolutely nobody. And you could have drafted Xavier Worthy, him and Josh Allen. I'm a football guy. That would be a good matchup. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not gonna be a hater and say, "Oh, it's gonna be shit." It's not. That would be great. Like, Josh Allen's got a big arm. Xavier Worthy ran what, a 4.2 I don't know, like 4 or something.
4-2-1.
Maybe I'm 4-2-1. There you go. See, I'm even there. You go. Like guys, Leon Sandcastles, but like I don't know. Bills are dumb. Whatever. It doesn't affect us. So
Well, it does in a good way.
Well, it does, yeah.
it does in a
for the
good
better.
way. Yeah. Like
Yeah.
like I said, I remember I left round 1 because I was standing in the same spot for 4.5 hours. So once the Jets made that pick, I got the hell out of there. But I was like, what are they doing? Like I was still walking to the tunnel, and Bills are idiots.
I think
Typical.
Atlanta didn't make the trade just to play devil's advocate is because there was the report that the Seahawks, Saints, and there was the Raiders were going to trade up for Penix. So they probably thought if they trade that, let's say they trade down to 10 with us, a team could have called the Bears at 9.
Nah, I don't think the Bears would have traded that. I still think,
the Bears needed more picks. They didn't have.
But if in that case, then they should have just kept Fields and traded the number 1 pick, and they could have got so much more. No, I don't know.
We know what Fields is already. He's not a franchise quarterback.
I don't know. I still think they should have. They could have got a lot for that one.
Definitely could have got a lot.
Trading with the number 1 quarterback.
They could have got so. And then think about it. They could have drafted Marvin Harrison, and then they could have potentially drafted like Joe Alt. Or even, still got Romo Doomsday or something. Like they would have got a lot. They would have got a lot for that first overall pick. Like even the Raiders would have gave up a lot. So, but
I think they made the right decision. Like I do think they know what Fields is. I don't even know. Is he going to start over Russell Wilson?
I doubt it.
I think we'll see him at some point.
They declined his 5th-year option. So unless they're having some sort of talk now to do like a 2-year extension where they know it's 1 year with Russ.
The Broncos also declined.
They have no quarterbacks after this year.
The Broncos also declined. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're right. They did decline Zach's.
That's so funny.
We got 70 people watching right now. Please, I appreciate you guys wherever you're watching, but YouTube is the ideal spot along with the like and subscribe button. I had to sit there and plug that real quick. I'm not really one of those guys to plug, but if it helps out, it helps out.
Definitely show some love. Show some love.
Yes, sir. So we're gonna get ready to wrap up. So Jay Jets, thank you for coming on, my friend. Tune in tomorrow. I'll try to have you on tomorrow. See what's going on with that.
Yeah, for sure.
So thank you for coming on, my friend.
Before you leave,
no problem, bro.
Who do you want week 1, Jay Jets? Who do you want week 1?
Good question.
Hold on. Let me look. Let me see if I can find the schedule on my the matchups on my phone. I think I have it somewhere.
All right.
Oh, here.
That was quick.
Well, I'm gonna be trust me, bro. Jay, I got Jet stuff on lock. I think honestly, like our schedule. I don't want to be biased, but our schedule looks pretty good.
Yep.
Like you know what I mean? Like
I agree.
Like I'm gonna just read it off real quick. For home, obviously we got the AFC East, and then we got Texans, Colts, Broncos, Rams, and Seahawks. Like what the fuck? That's easy. And then away you got obviously AFC East, and then I know, but anyway, and then you got Steelers, Jags, Titans, Vikings, 49ers, and Cardinals. So with that, I would love to see the 49ers at MetLife Sunday Night Football Week 1. I think that would be a good matchup. Either them or
San Francisco's a road game out in San Francisco.
So which one?
Is it? Oh yeah, you're right. It's a road game. So then I would like to see probably
I want San Francisco week 1. I'm gonna go with Woody's term, the Rodgers revenge game. Let him, like he said after they passed on him when they took Alex Smith, I'm gonna make the 49ers regret it. Let's make San Francisco regret it now because they have had quarterback issues since Alex Smith.
I'd love to also beat the Dolphins up week 1 too. That would be fun.
See, I want the Patriots. I just really
that would be good because we would just smash them. No, yeah, but that's good though. That's what you want. This new look Jets team to come out and just wreck Drake May. I agree with you, Liam. That's a good call.
I want to wreck
Sunday night too.
San Francisco fans.
Nah, I don't really care about the 49ers.
The last game of the season was against the New England Patriots, and Robert Saleh said that we're going to be 1-0 in 2024 for a long time. Why not pick up right where we left off and go 2-0 in 2024, and then beat the team that we beat the last week to send? And I absolutely loved seeing Bill Belichick walk off that field for the final time.
Yeah,
snow all in his hood. His neck was cold, and I was there for it. I was all there for it.
Nice.
Yep.
Nice, love it. But like people are so mad about that too, and I'm like, guys, who cares? Like, yeah, we lost, whatever. Who cares? It doesn't matter. We still got Olu. We could have got Rome, whatever. Who gives a shit? We got who we got. We beat the Patriots for the first time since 2015, bro. Almost 10 years. Like, I don't
Definitely
care.
needed that win.
Like, and we're going to smash them twice this year. That's all I got to say.
Ooh.
Appreciate you guys having me on.
All right, my friend. Have a good one.
All right, have a good one, guys.
All right, Armin, I'm gonna get ready to you. We're gonna get ready to wrap this up. So, any last thing you want to say?
Give me the 49ers. I want to wreck them so bad. I want to wreck them so bad. I want to torment them. I want to torment the 49ers to know that they'll never win a Super Bowl because they messed up the quarterback position.
Yeah. I mean, kind of. I
And
mean,
they're
like,
ready.
I'm a little nervous.
They got to pay Brock Purdy $60 million, and it's no guarantee from now till July or August that Brandon Ayuk or Debo is going to be on the team. And when they got to pay Brock Purdy after this season, you could say goodbye to George Kittle as well.
you
They're
think so,
going to
huh?
their window is getting as close to Buffalo's window being shut.
I mean, I hope so. I don't know. Like the 49ers, they do scare me a little bit. Like,
And plus, I want to get the West Coast out of the way.
I feel like they're terrifying.
I want to get the West Coast out of the way.
yeah, no,
I
they
want
are
to get the West
terrifying.
Coast out of the way. I want to get the West Coast out of the way.
I think we might need to build. Give Aaron like a nice tune-up game. That's what I was saying. The Broncos, like,
Yes.
The Broncos. Tyrod Taylor is beating the Broncos. Like, just give Aaron a nice little.
I don't want to hear Tyrod Taylor's beating the Broncos. We don't need.
No,
Aaron
Aaron
is beating the Broncos.
Jordan Travis is beating the Broncos.
Sorry. Yeah, Jordan.
But no, so like I kind of have like this little like theory where it's like I want like New England week 1, just personal not personal, but personal reasons, and you want like maybe two games of like kind of easy softball teams to build
Definitely.
up, and then you want some hard teams, but if you're sitting there, like I don't know, like 5-5 or something like that, like something like a little shaky, you kind of want the easier teams at the lighter end of the year to maybe punch in that playoff ticket. So that's what I'm saying.
You keep New England for November.
We start the season off with them and like end it with them or something like that. That's personally what I would do.
Definitely.
But
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah. So, all right. But yeah, Armin. So I'm sure if you're going to be on tomorrow, we'll have Ryan from Jets Talk 24/7 if you're interested.
Woody, nice to meet you, man. Hopefully you're
nice to meet you. It was an honor to talk some Jets with you.
Good night, everybody.
All right, Armin. Have a good one.
Good night.
All right, James. So I just wanted to thank you for coming on. I'm looking at the time here. I know you got to get ready to wrap it up. So we have 95 people watching right now. So if you're not watching on YouTube, that is the place to be. But I mean, if you're not watching on YouTube, we just appreciate you watching, So that's first and foremost. But Woody, thank you for coming on once again, man. Before you go, why don't you just plug yourself real quick? Where can everybody find all of your content? Where can people follow you?
Yeah, absolutely. The handle's right here. The James Wudi. That's on Instagram mostly. I'm not gonna lie. I have a favorite. So Instagram. On YouTube, I am featured on Boyd Green's channel. I have a weekly show, 2 days a week, Tuesdays and Thursdays, on his channel. Right, so that's YouTube/Boyd Green 25. He obviously also has incredible content. When I'm not there, he just interviewed RG3, right? That's Robert Griffin III last year. So I mean, he definitely, when he's not dealing with the big potatoes like me, he's dealing with guys like RG3. So you got that. But yeah, mostly at the James Wudi, and just keep an eye out for anything else where I'm at.
Yes, sir. Appreciate that, my friend. So thank you for coming on. We got to do this more often. It's been too long. I had a blast.
It really is. The first time I ever did a podcast with somebody, it was you and Italy Jet with Everything I'm Watching. That was my first time ever collaborating like this. So for me, this is like a very, full circle type moment. But we got to keep the circle going. We got to turn that circle into a figure 8. You know what I'm talking about?
Yes, sir. 8. Perfect number too. Perfect number. But yeah, definitely appreciate you, man. So we'll get you on one day with Dan and do this again, man. I had a blast. So Thank everybody for watching. Please like this video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Follow the Jets Afterburners podcast on Twitter at NYJ Afterburners podcast, I believe it is, NYJ Afterburners, one of the two. I don't know. You'll find us. We're there. We're always active. Same thing, Jets Afterburners podcast on Instagram. So thank all of you guys for watching. We're at 99. I just wish we could get to we did it. We did it. You guys are the best. Thank you guys for watching. We'll talk Jets soon.
Dynamite.